You don't have to look on your calendars, we can help you. Today is the 18th day in the month of March 2022. We can also tell you that today it's a
Friday!
Oh boy. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to Up and Go here on the Bridge 99 FM. My name is Richie B.
And I am Queen Jojo.
Yours truly, DJ Artiste. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
And me, man, Shells. Sorry. I think I need to do a better Shells imitation. He'll be on in a short while with us, but we're ready to get started, aren't we?
No, yes, we are.
Curfews have been lifted.
Outside.
Oh, might tell you. Oh, boy. Big announcement from the Prime Minister in Parliament yesterday during the budget debate.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke for quite a long time.
Very long time.
My God. I had to tune out for a little bit, then I tuned back in and out, and he was there until way down in the evening.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff to talk about. At 6:30, I think we're going to be having one or two of those items of interest in our update segment along with others. But right now, we're ready to get rolling. But right now, it's time for
WTF. And that's what the fact.
A man who changed his name because he lost a bet is in focus in this factual bit of information here right now.
That's right, Richie. After losing a drunken poker bet in 2009, a New Zealand man had his name legally changed to Full Metal Havoc, more sexy and intelligent than Spock and all the superheroes combined with Frost Nova.
Is that his first name?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. It took 5 years, but the name was finally approved by the government. All 99 characters of his new name are on his passport.
It's important to note, as you said, he lost a drunken poker bet. He was drunk and when he thought about this idea. So his name actually is, listen carefully, Full Metal Havoc, more sexy and intelligent than Spock and all the superheroes combined with Frost Nova. That is the man's new name. Yeah, like, what? What was he thinking?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Liquor boy. It makes you do some crazy stuff.
Oh, boy.
So, I wonder what they call him for short.
I don't know.
Spock?
Spock, Full Metal.
Frost?
Ladies call him sexy and intelligent. I don't know.
We don't know. If I see my just a brother. Anyhow, that was, of course, What
the Fact.
So let's do this. Right now, as usual, Joda kicks it off.
Hey, morning again, Bridge Nation. So it is time for update. Lord God. All right, here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the first one. PM Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister Andrew Holness, announced grants, loans for reggae and dancehall stakeholders.
Okay.
Money and one,
Cool.
money and dish out. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced an annual modern music grant for reggae and dancehall entertainers and musicians to pursue what he has described as their professional advancement. The grant was among a series of offerings Holness announced for the entertainment during his contribution to the 2022-2023 budget debate in the House of Parliament yesterday, where he has also declared that after 2 years, the measures have been lifted. Richie and Shells will go more in that. So I'm very happy for that. So money will be granted to persons who are trying to maybe have an event, pursue their career. To further support the reopening of the sector, he's directing the Chase Fund to make a special $150 million window of support for the entertainment sector. So money in our entertainment now. So do we have to do? Me's an artist now. I'm just making a note now. My name is Queen Jojo. I'm a reggae recording artist.
I like it.
And I shall be pursuing that.
All right. We're ready to support you by doing a world premiere with your first song.
Karaoke.
All right. Even.
Yeah, so my story is a very interesting one as well. Tied to the Shensia's Alpha launch party here in Jamaica. As we know, government ministers who attended Shensia's Alpha party were fined 100K by the Prime Minister himself. Yes, the government ministers who I like this wording, who partied with Shensia at her Alpha release party were slapped with hefty fines by the Prime Minister and Your Holiness. Events are not yet legal, and when Shensia held her album release party, it was in violation of Jamaica's Disaster Risk Management Act at the time, which prohibits events and gatherings of people beyond 15, and also mandates wearing a face covering, right? Face mask and all these things. Among the cheerful faces at the event was this is hilarious. Was the second time offender Floyd Green, who was caught last year breaching the DRMA. Instead of being fined and charged like every other Jamaican, the minister was dragged on social media, and he only resigned as agriculture minister after public pressure. Green was seen in the company of his wife, but the important guest list didn't end there, as the portfolio minister Babsy Grange, Minister of Entertainment and Culture was also there, National Security Minister Horace Chang, Finance Minister Nigel Clark, Health Minister Christopher Tufton, and Opposition Spokesman for Culture Lisa Hanna were all seen at the event, maskless except for Babsy herself. The presence of the government ministers has caused the government serious embarrassment, as Jamaicans who have committed similar offences continue to attend court and face consequences. Interesting stuff here.
All right, so it's not the police that this was not a police matter.
No, it wasn't.
Many people are thinking that it was just to create humor. Many people are not taking the Prime Minister seriously.
Richie.
Do you think it's a serious... we should take it seriously?
I told you guys off air. I said it last night on my show. So when they laughed, I got two feelings from it. One, either them don't believe the Prime Minister, like, oh, Andrew, okay. Or two, 100K is soft. Either way, I'm going to like it. Whenever like it. But hey, cover your tracks. Cover your tracks.
Well, hopefully,
Hopefully it's real.
Them pay the.
And they said that the money would go towards helping the sector.
So I am there for that, but the response to it.
Yeah, I never too.
I don't like that, because you were so hard on everybody else.
There's a guy who had to pay a fine of $200,000 out in St. Thomas, and he's already coming forward to say, hey, do I get a refund now or what?
Right.
Yeah.
I saw where Minister Tufton actually put out a kind of an apology.
Right.
I said a kind of an apology.
I
don't want to quote him verbatim, but I think he was basically saying, if the impression was created that we were breaking the rules, then we'd like to say we're sorry for the impression
for
that
I like that.
And then I also saw some pics that emerged after the fact with Floyd Green. And he was very much in his mask in those pictures that he posted.
The thing is, Richie, it happened to me sometime, and the Prime Minister said it. It's like they get frightened for celebrity, except Babsy, because Babsy used to it. That's what the prayer said. Because they don't know. If you take the picture, you don't want to move your mask. So maybe they did have on their mask. Maybe. Maybe.
Who knows? We weren't there, so we just have to speculate. Maybe they were removed just for the pics and then put that back on. We don't know.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are out there celebrating also the fact that the DRMA Act has been withdrawn and effective March 18. That is today. The order and all the measures under the Disaster Risk Management Act will be withdrawn, said Prime Minister Holness in his presentation yesterday in Parliament. It's no longer sustainable to manage the pandemic as a special project by executive order through the Disaster Risk Management Act. However, he said, risks still remain and continued vigilance is necessary, especially for the vulnerable population. For this reason, some measures, said the Prime Minister, will be retained and incorporated into what is going to be called the regulations issued under the Public Health Act instead. So wearing masks in enclosed spaces is something that is also being considered right down until April 15. Supermarkets, banks, and tax collectorates will retain that feature will remain, and so on and so forth. So the fact is, the entertainment sector is now looking at celebrating the withdrawal of this DRMA. That means Sumfest and so on should not have a problem at all.
No problem at all.
Unless the cases start to spiral again.
Because it's trending down now. But there's so many questions, but at the same time, it's like you understand why this decision had to be made.
Yes,
so
because
let's see how responsible we're going to be.
Before we cut, can I just say we can make a petition for Ramesh to be on the $3,000 bill?
Then you put Ramesh Ramesh in Parliament.
Big up Ramesh. That's all I have to say. Big up Ramesh.
2,000 gone already.
Yeah, so give him 3,000.
Wasn't it 2,000 that you had to pay to go to the launch?
Oh boy.
For those who didn't got special invites.
You know.
Make a money on my youth. How you mean? That was
Update.
Now it's time for Proverb of the Day.
Yes.
Rainford is going to play it for us.
Friend does carry you, but don't bring you back.
One more time for us, Rainford.
Friend does carry you, but don't bring you back.
Friend does carry you, but don't bring you back.
not Jamaican.
does carry you. What is that?
So we talk.
You know. So this is a Trinidadian proverb, of course, and the meaning is be wary of who your friends are because they can lead you astray.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then we carry you, but then I must bring you
you
back.
Left you out in the deep ocean.
Left you in the deep ocean.
Sink or swim.
All right.
Perfect proverb for the weekend coming up.
You know, I never thought about that until now. So for those who are planning to be outside on the roadside, please to be careful with those friends who are bad influence.
Get Bex money.
Yes, please. Walk away. Walk away. All right. So we're heading into our pet peeve, right?
Yes, sir.
So pet peeves we know are things that persons do to annoy us, irritate us, or even upset us. I feel this pet peeve though is more an experience that one of our listeners, Debbie, had with a taxi driver, and she's going to share what happened and why she's upset or
Good morning.
peeved.
To my class over family. You know what upset me? That I went to Mandeville Monday and the fare is $2.20, and when I give the taxi the $2.20, the driver threw back the money. That is not my fare. And I said, that's what I pay come to Mandeville. The man throw back the fare, throw it down, dash it down in the water. That the most things upset me. But I know if the fare is $2.20 go to Mandeville, from Christiana to Mandeville, and
so she was like, it's a horrible experience and I'm never taking that taxi driver again. So she gave him the money because she's sure that's the fare, and he took it from her, realized the amount, and threw it back at her. And she was like...
So what, he wanted $250?
I don't know what the fare is, but she was like...
I wonder if she gave him $200 bill and $21.
I don't know, but you know, these things happen.
Yeah,
so
man,
that's so rude.
It's kind of rude.
Yeah.
It's rude and it's kind of strange.
Yes, like
if he's getting the required amount of money,
right.
Why would he want to?
But Richie,
Yeah.
I want to tell you that they're hiking up, the taximen and the busmen are hiking up these prices, the transportation costs, even though the government doesn't say nothing, but persons want to get to work, you know, or get to where they're going, so they pay it, so they feel that it is okay. So some persons,
everybody should do
right. So some persons are like, no, this is what the fare is, and this is what I'm going to pay, and that's the treatment. I'll add to my pet peeve. You know that there are taxis that says no fat woman should be.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. Like it is tinted on there. No fat.
Written on the windows, kind of thing.
The fat person with a with the sign on it. I am dead.
For Rick Jody.
There are shells.
You
know, seed shells.
Not true,
I
man.
seen
Take
that.
a photo of that and
The next time,
WhatsApp.
hey, me now going at the taxi, I'm cut off a man.
True, man.
I wasn't going in the taxi, but I saw it and I was like, this is serious. So that's my pet peeve. So why persons think that is okay to. So no fat persons allowed.
That's crazy. No.
That's what it
no,
said on the
no.
taxi.
Oh,
boy.
I mean, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't even know that.
Yes,
that's
several
right there.
taxis in Halfway Tree, you'll see the sign there with a fat, and it just so happens to be a fat woman. And it says no fat persons allowed.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, those are things that would upset anybody.
Yeah,
yes, and
so
I'm sure that many people are agreeing with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had the pleasure of speaking with this beautiful lady on World Wildlife Day. That was on the 4th of March, as we did a broadcast from the Hope Zoo.
Yeah.
And she had a lot to say then, and I'm sure that she has a lot to say now. Today, by the way, is Global Recycling Day. It's held annually on the 18th of March to help recognize and celebrate the importance recycling plays in securing the future of our planet. And during the day, it is meant to urge world leaders and remind them that recycling must be a global issue and encourage people generally to think resourcefully and not waste when it comes to the goods around us. This year's theme, by the way, for Global Recycling Day is Recycling Fraternity. And we have the pleasure, once again, of speaking here now with Senator Sophia Frazer Binns, who is our guest on the telephone. Good morning, Senator.
Morning, Senator.
Good morning. And how are you?
We are doing well.
Great.
And it's always a pleasure to have you with us, and especially on an issue like this that you take a lot of interest in. Today is Global Recycling Day. Would you say that that is an important day on our calendar?
You know, it is such an important day. Regrettably, we do not do much in terms of marking this day in Jamaica. And I'm hoping that through our efforts going forward, then more attention will be placed to this day. Not only because it is a day, but also because of the importance of the issue of recycling in the protection of the environment. So we're hopeful that our own little efforts will highlight the day, and in the future, more and more stakeholders will mark this day, and recycling will become a part of our culture and our way of life.
For the uninformed, what is recycling?
Recycling, in a very simple way, recycling essentially is making use of waste. So, for example, you have a plastic container that you would have used. Instead of throwing it in the garbage, you can use it whether to plant things or to as a container for other things. So it really is reusing something in a beneficial way.
Okay. Now, Senator, it's a sad reality. You know, we look around our nation. Is it safe to say that, you know, Jamaicans have no idea what recycling is, or we're just neglecting it? You know, I just want to know how important it is for Jamaicans to be mindful, you know, of how they, you know, dispose of their waste.
It is such an important thing for all Jamaicans to be aware of it. I can't say that we do not know what recycling is, because the truth is that some efforts have gone into educating persons, and the recycling partners of Jamaica that have done a phenomenal job with its limited resources have really tried. But I think that there's so much more that has to be done. There is almost an acceptance, so to speak, by the majority that it is not an important thing. And so we just go about just disposing of our garbage without thinking twice about how can we use our garbage for the better good, and as well as to protect the environment. Right. So part and parcel of what we have to do is to educate.
There it is.
Educate, and change the consciousness of our people in terms of recycling and what it means for us individually and collectively.
Okay. So the theme around, you know, this year's Global Recycle Day, Recycling Fraternity, what does that mean?
It really is celebrating all the persons who have worked in the recycling industry. And you know, I wanted to single-handedly thank all the men and women in our garbage collection, because the truth is, particularly with the COVID pandemic, we have not even stopped to think about the role that they have played in the collecting our garbage, in ensuring that they were properly disposed of. And so I want to thank them. True. But the recycling fraternity is so much more than our garbage person, but they're so critical to what we do. We're talking about those who go through our separation to ensure that, you know, the things are separated based on their use. We're talking about those who are entrepreneurs in the industry. In Jamaica, you know, I can think about a young man in South St. Andrew who collects plastic bottles and he uses it for blocks. Those are some of the persons we're talking about who we have not shined the light on them to highlight the work that they're doing. And as I mentioned the gentleman in South St. Andrew, I also want to talk to persons about the fact that recycling has an environmental import and an environmental impact, but there's also an economic impact and an economic benefit to be derived from recycling as well.
You mentioned the whole matter of garbage collection, and I want to take the conversation for us to look at the whole matter of the Riverton City disposal site, which has really been an issue for many persons, especially within the community and the area. The question I want to ask Senator Binns is, how would recycling or disposing of garbage, how does it impact a site like the Riverton City disposal site?
Well, it would impact it significantly. And I want to start at the very beginning, which has to do with separation. What has happened, Richie, is that over the years, what we have not done is separation. So we have our garbage or our waste, and we just throw everything in our bins, and they just get taken to the Riverton City dump if you're in Kingston and St. Andrew. Now, the separation at source is something that we have to do, because what it does is it takes out those things that, one, can be recycled, two, can be used for other purposes, and thirdly, those that can't be recycled. And it is the things that can't be recycled then that will go to the site. I do recall living in England, and, you all had 3 bins. You had 3 bins, one for your recycled things, one for those that can be recycled, and one that you can use, such as your ground provisions and your peels that you can use as fertilizers. I mean, I'm a country girl, so I know about that. and paper, these are things that you can use. And what it does is that it reduces, and part of recycling is about reducing waste. And so it reduces the number of waste that goes into either our waste stream or in this instance at the Riverton City dump or any site.
Separation is key.
Separation is key, and I would hope that one of the things coming out of the discussion Recycling Day is for us to move faster as a country to commence the separation at source. I know some years ago a pilot project had started in Kingston and St. Andrew. So the KCC, we haven't heard much about it. I mean, there are lessons learned from it. And I believe that the time is ripe for us as a country to start that separation at source. It will require some resources, because you're going to have to ensure that persons have the requisite garbage bins to ensure they can do the separation. It also will require timely collection of garbage and waste.
Yes.
But it can be done. There just needs to be a willingness amongst all of us as stakeholders to get it done. And I'm appealing that as a country we move quickly for the separation of sorts to commence and on a whole scale in the country.
Many countries around the world are already doing that. The other day when we traveled, Shells, we saw the same thing that Senator just mentioned at the airport in Amsterdam, where there was one bin, but there were 3 receptacles, and they were all labeled so you know what to put where on the matter of separation of your waste. My final question this morning is, while we celebrate the day today, how can our citizens participate in the day's activities?
Well, I want to say this because, yesterday I went to school in Manchester to have a discussion on the day. And it was very strategic in terms of going to a school, because we believe that our children are so important to changing the culture and to start the education or the re-education process. And I answer your question by using that example because I think every person can play a role. We don't have to wait on the government or the private sector to start the initiative. As individuals, we can play a role by, one, doing our own separation at source as best as we can. So when you have your waste, instead of putting everything in one garbage bin, then you can say, okay, fine, I can use this as fertilizer. I can use this for a container or for storage, and this I have no choice, so I'll have to dispose of it. So we can start the separation, which will reduce the waste that we have, the output of waste. The second thing is we have to start by educating ourselves. We have to start, and you will realize, Richard, that every time I talk to you, I emphasize education, because I really think that as a country, if we're going to really make a dent in terms of our actions and in terms of protecting the environment, we have to educate and re-educate ourselves. So we have to educate ourselves and those around us in terms of the importance of recycling, in terms of the importance of protecting the environment. And thirdly, I would say, we all just need to find out what activities are taking place. I know the Recycling Partners of Jamaica will have a slew of activities. I mean, on my part, we had our activities yesterday, and persons just need to be more aware of what it is that recycling is and how it is beneficial to them and how they can play their role. Because the joy about recycling, it doesn't have to be on a big scale. It can be done individually until the government, whichever government it is, undertakes the initiative which is required for it to be done on a larger scale.
Senator Binns, thank you for talking to us on Global Recycling Day. We found it to be quite useful and informative, and we wish you a wonderful day today and a great weekend as well.
Thank you, and the same to you and your team.
All right, thank you so much. Speaking there with Senator Sophia Frazer Binns, Shadow Minister for Land, Environment and Climate Change. It's Global Recycling Day 2022. All day today, by the way.
There you are, Richie. I was looking for your face. The whole time I was seeing Oddly do his thing, which was nice, but it's nice to see you and connect with you. So we have a special guest in the building. Castilla, we're going to talk to her for a second. We want you to say hi, and I'm sure you guys checked out her IG, Castilla Music.
Yeah, we
Castilla,
did.
welcome to Jamaica. Welcome to Jamrock.
Thanks for having me.
Blessings.
How are you guys this morning?
What's up, Castilla?
Good.
How are you?
Castilla.
I'm good, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. And your Jamaican connections, which parish are you connected with, so to speak?
Yes, St. Anne's, Jamaica. Big up, big up.
Right.
Oh.
Both my grandparents are from there.
They call it the G Parish.
They do?
Yeah, they do call it the G Parish, right, Castilla?
Yes, I've only actually been once, unfortunately, but I mean,
okay.
I'd love to go back and just, touch back into my roots more.
All right. The G for garden, by the way, but some people call it G for other things.
Oh.
No.
I want no big G, man. I wonder what the other things are.
We're not smoking here, so please don't draw me out.
Well, it's legal here.
Okay. How do you know?
What are you talking about exactly? What? What? G for what? One? What are you guys talking about? Hello?
Oh, G.
Yeah. So Castilla's here with us. We're trying to see if this camera is working. But we're just like, so this is really good because, like I said, her parents are Jamaican. Well, one of her parents. And it's good to connect with your roots and culture.
Definitely.
100%.
So Castilla's a trap artist as well, Richie.
Yeah, I see where she's referred to as the DIY queen. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, Castilla?
You know what? You got to make it happen by yourself sometimes and figure out how to do things. So I came up with DIY Queen because I literally do a lot of things with my hands and by myself.
Oh.
Got to make it get done.
That's interesting.
Speaking like a true Jamaican.
Trust me. So tell us a little bit about your music. You having any new releases out?
Yes, I just dropped a record today. It's called Bad. It's on all streaming platforms. You can check me out on Castilla Music. Just about, good energy, baddies, good vibes. That's what we're always portraying and giving out. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. She does trap music.
She don't look like a trap artist.
No?
No.
What does she look like, Shells?
She looks like she needs to be in Jamaica. That's what it looks like.
And she's single. Just putting it out there.
Okay. But no, big up yourself, Castilla. It's nice to see that you're out there representing, and hopefully, we can get some of your tracks and run it out there, isn't it? It's a vibe.
Yes, I'd love that. All the hot girls in Jamaica need to be hearing Bad.
Enough of them there, trust me.
Hey, listen, I told you I had a surprise for you, Red and Jay and the crew. I think we want to spring that surprise on you right now.
Okay.
Because, as you'd have heard, the Prime Minister lifted all of the curfew measures. The DRMA is no longer in force. And it means that many events are going to be happening between now and the summertime. One major event that so many people are anticipating is Reggae Sunfest.
Wow.
I hear the excitement in your voice. And we're joined at this time by a traveling man. He's somewhere at an airport, not in Jamaica, but we're having him on the line to tell us a little bit about his reaction, first of all, to the announcement by the Prime Minister and plans for Reggae Sunfest. His name is Joseph Bogdanovich. Good morning, Joe.
General.
How you doing, Richie?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us. I know you're traveling. Let me ask you, first of all, you might want to say hello to Toronto. They're listening to you right now.
God, it's kind of hard for me to hear you, but I can tell you one thing about the Prime Minister opening up Jamaica is a very, very good positive sign for the industry, the entertainment business, and great for Reggae Sunfest. And what we have done, we've immediately pivoted on that, and now we've expanded our festival date to 6 nights in a row from July 19th through the 24th.
Wow.
And it's going to be mad, Richie. It's going to be absolutely mad.
July 19 to 24 are the new dates for Reggae Sunfest. That is breaking news right here for all of us. We saw where you have Shensia now as your headlining act. What can you tell us about the lineup? Anything you can share?
Well, let me just say this, Richie. In 2019, we had the BBC, Bears, Beanie, and not Bounty, Beanie. No, gee, I'm stuck on the B's. I'm a Bogdanovich, But the real deal is we had Barris, Buju, and Chronics, the BBC. Well, let me give you a little hint since you want to know about other artists going to be on this show that are heavyweights.
Yes.
This time around, we have the 4 S's.
4 S's.
And one of them is Shensia. Now maybe you could venture a guess, or maybe you could have your patrons there online to come up with who the other S. There's 3 other S's in there. So why don't you make a guess, Richie?
My first guess is Spice.
Yes.
Can I guess one?
Please go ahead, Canada.
Can I guess one?
Yes.
Shaba. No. Please.
Oh gosh.
One more guess. One more guess.
Sizzler. I was gonna guess.
Sizzler, Shaba, Spice, and Shensia. That sounds good to me. I'm there.
Those are the 4 S's that we have put on the table.
Sham is a C.
Oh, did I say C?
Sham is a C. He's not an S.
I didn't say Sham. Who said Sham?
One person said Shaba. I said Spice. You said Shensia. And another person said Sizzler.
Okay, listen, you guys are too dangerous. I cannot comment, but I know I think someone gave you some information.
No, we just know the industry.
I'll have to call Putin and find out who the hell it is.
No, don't call Putin.
We just know the industry and we know what people want. So do this for us. Just give us a little cough if we're on the right track.
I can hardly hear you.
Oh, he can't hear him.
Yeah.
So ask him to give us a little cough.
She says if they're on the right track with those guesses, just give them a little cough.
Or
you guys are on the right track. You're on the bridge. You're on the bridge. You make connections.
All right, Joe. Listen, we'll definitely be talking to you some more, and you're expecting a lot of people out of Toronto, I suspect.
I can tell you, the big dancehall song about to come out right now is a song called "Gimme More" by Marcy Chin.
Yes.
People are really throbbing to this song right now in Jamaica, and I tell you, it's about the release, the pandemic release.
Oh.
The pandemic release. Give me some more.
Give me some more. We're looking out for that.
Right.
Joe, thanks for talking with us. Safe travels, and talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Wow. 4 S's. Guys, what are we thinking? I think we're on the right track,
I think so. Maybe somebody said Sean Paul. Perry on text and said Sean Paul. And Shaggy, we forgot those 2.
Yeah. Maybe.
But I think Shaba, I think for especially after I think that's the best of both worlds, right? Sizzler, you got, something more conscious, kind of Rasta vibe. Then you have Shaba, the old school. Everybody will be out, including your granny. And then you have Shensia.
Yes.
And then who was the other one we said? What was the other S?
We said Sizzler, we said Spice, Shensia, and Shaba.
So 2 ladies, 2 fellas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounded like we're right.
I'd like to say that I think we're right.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of know? Give me a little cough if you know.
Kind of knows. He kind of.
Give me a little cough if you know. But Shaba's wicked. Does Shaba perform in Jamaica much or not really?
I think the last time he was here was actually on Reggae Sunfest a few years ago. Yeah.
Where does he live now? UK, right?
Yeah.
Where's
No,
he
man,
live?
he's in New York.
Okay.
Shells, by the way, I heard the seat there.
Yeah. We're looking at the Shells. Are you cheating on me, Shells?
What? Huh?
I'm playing with
Jamaican men don't cheat. Come on.
Never.
Come on, never.
We're all laughing because, we're all here on the video, and Castilla just joined us again. Say hi to Shells, Castilla.
Hey, Shells, what's going on?
I'm good, Castilla. How you doing?
Look at him turn.
A little morning motivation for you, Shells.
Yes, a little coffee in the morning, a little cream.
Yes.
It's all good.
It's all good.
And we're inside of a special segment brought to you, sponsored by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And we call it Let's Talk Vax. And we do it every Friday morning. In fact, it's going to be at runabout this time to accommodate our link with Flow 98.7. Dr. Melody Ennis is the Director of Family Health Services in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And she's here to encourage us to continue being cautious and get vaccinated, even though the COVID-19 cases are trending down and the Disaster Risk Management Act, the DRMA, have been lifted. We're joined at this time by Dr. Melody Ennis. Good morning, Doc. Welcome. How are you?
Morning, Dr. Ennis.
Hi, morning, gentlemen. I am well, thank you. And how are you both?
We are doing well. We are doing very, very well. And thank you for accommodating us with a little change in time so that we could facilitate our link with Toronto, Canada earlier. We hope that
no problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. Doc, the DRMA has now been lifted, but what do you want to say to the nation? Is it still important for persons to be cautious and to continue to protect themselves against COVID-19?
Yes. COVID is still around. We may be over COVID, but COVID may not be over us. If we continue to follow world news and the WHO, we recognize that about every 4 months we have new variants on stream from SARS-CoV-2. They may not be variants of interest or of concern, but they are developing. And at any time, we can developed a variant that causes severe illness, hospitalization, and death. So bearing that in mind, because we have the virus around us, then it's very important to protect ourselves. And the best way now to protect ourselves is certainly to get vaccinated.
Agreed. Interestingly, though, Dr. Ennis, areas like of China and Hong Kong, have been on lockdown due to the rise of the COVID-19 virus. Is the health minister at all concerned about what is happening over there and how this might affect us?
Well, the Ministry of Health and Wellness pays close attention to what is happening globally. And we do make a comparison and an evaluation with what is happening in country. And of course, that is balanced by how it may impact health and how it may impact livelihood. And based on those deliberations, then we posit our position or recommendation. But at this time, it is very important for all Jamaicans to really take personal responsibility for their health. And that being said, one of the ways to do that is to come out and get vaccinated. We know now that mask mandate is not in, but it's highly recommended. And we can put several other highly before recommended. So persons will recognize the need, the importance of wearing the mask properly in public spaces. Now, we like to imitate our first world countries. Of course, we do that because we are so ambitious and we want to be like them. But they are at 70% vaccination coverage. We are at 24.6%.
Wow.
So we need to imitate them a little more and come out and get vaccinated. And just to say, even in some of these first world countries, we have more options for vaccines than they do. We have AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Sinopharm. There really is no excuse for us to not get protected.
Yeah. Doc, I just want to take a moment to just big up the entire team from within the ministry and all of your affiliates for the work that you've all put in terms of dissemination of information, in terms of actually manning the different sites across the island, going into the various communities. It's a lot of work that has been put in to get us to this stage. And so I want to publicly commend you and all of the team members that have actually helped us to get to this stage where we are today.
I humbly accept on behalf of the entire Ministry of Health and Wellness or regional health authorities every single healthcare worker in Jamaica. Thank you so very much.
Yes, and after putting in all of this work and getting us to this stage, we now have a responsibility to ensure that we continue to protect ourselves so that we don't go back to where we're coming from. Ain't Doc?
That is so. And we're not leaving you on your own. We are still holding your hand, so you can come in. We are providing credible information and updates. We are also providing you with vaccines and information to stay safe. So, we are going back to how we used to live back in the day. When, back in the day when you came home from school, remember, you had to drop off your shoes, take off your clothes immediately, wash your hands, go get your bath. Don't even think of going in the kitchen because you have to clean up yourself first. So, we are encouraging those lifelong healthy practices as we learn to live with COVID.
Most definitely. Thank you very much. So vaccinations are on this weekend?
Oh, yes. So we continue to have our sites, Harborview Health Center, Sunrise on Sunday, Winchester Medical and Surgical, Fontana, Type 5 Health Center, all the way over in Montego Bay. Oh, yes. So we continue to vaccinate as we try and integrate COVID-19 vaccines in our routine services.
Dr. Melody Ennis, thank you as always, and you have a wonderful day and a great weekend.
Thank you, too, and the very same to both of you and your listeners.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated, Doc. I was just doing a little reading, Shells. I don't know if you got a chance to do it yourself. Our guest at this time is a man who went on tour in the year 2007 with the legend Sugar Minot. He has collaborated with Paradigm and Denon Porter of D12. He's a dancehall sensation. He has, in fact, also collaborated with Ding Dong and collabs with DJ Ted Smooth. These are some big names that King Jazzy has worked with. He has hit the stage with the likes of Buju Banton, Sizzla, Luciano, Capleton, Junior Reid, and Juice WRLD, and many others. And he has, in fact, been building quite a name for himself in the industry. We are very happy to be graced by the presence of a King Jazzy.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. What up, though?
How you doing, bro?
I feel good, man.
Yes,
Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessings every day.
Yeah. We were just talking off the air about a situation where you were in a vehicle, Jazzy, here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And you exited that vehicle, and then you got word that your friend who was in the vehicle actually met in an accident and died since you were here in Jamaica.
Yeah, good friend of mine too. Like, we came up together, right? Come from my area over there in St. Mary, right? And I was in the vehicle with them, and then they was like, come out and party with me, but like my wife is here, so I never go out and party. And then morning time, they called my wife and I asked if Jazzy was there, because everybody knew I was traveling in the vehicle with him.
Right.
Yeah, he was an up-and-coming artist too, very talented, a young man by the name of Shaka Dax.
Yeah. So sorry to hear.
He was on Charlie Black's label.
Oh,
Unstoppable.
Deepest condolences, man. Let me tell you. One of the things I want to do right up front is to thank you and the crew at Electric Sticky, because when we were heading over to Dubai, you actually, through your company, came on board as one of our sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
And so on behalf of Bridge 99 FM, we thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anytime. Anytime I can support the cause, we'll do it.
Yeah, without a doubt. You actually run your own production company that is the same Electric Sticky. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing with that company.
Well, I mean, pretty much everything that you see us do, the videos, it's all us.
Really?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're independent, so yeah, we do the video, and I run 2 studios. Right? I have a studio in St. Mary in Rockabessa, right?
Yes.
And then I have a studio in Detroit, right?
Michigan.
Yeah. And I mean, we have a lot of artists underneath us, but we're not pushing everybody right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about timing.
Yeah, timing. Yeah, timing is everything in music, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I want also to hear about your cannabis dispensary brands that you have.
Yeah, well, okay. Everyone's always asking me about what, because I've been in music a long time, but they're like, what happened? You know, how come you were there like say 10 years ago? Because I got to make money, right? And up and coming artists don't always make money, so I've been getting into other things, right? And one of the things I was in Michigan is medical marijuana, right? Okay. And I know New York right now, because we tune in New York right now. I know New York is medical right now, or turning rec too, and it's a crazy buzz out there for that too.
It's practically rec as right now, yeah.
Yeah, I know some of my homies that have what I guess is dispensaries. I don't know what the rules are, but there's dispensaries out there, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in New Jersey.
Yeah,
especially in New Jersey. Especially Jersey.
Yeah, and Jersey too, right? Yeah, and so I created a brand in Michigan, like dispensaries and stuff. Yeah. But when it became really legal, because before it was like a gray area, right? Like you could you was kind of dodging the law, right? At any time somebody could have came and shut your shop down, right? So when it became legal, the licensing was real strict. So I just held on to the brand and was looking for my time to get in, to be on the license, right? Yeah. And they wasn't letting me get on the license. So basically what I did was I kind of sold my brands, just like last year. I still retain a piece of it. But what happened, I had an idea that just like I got like some visions, you know what I'm saying? That I'm on the wrong path, like I'm paper chasing, and it's not my path. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
And I'm not doing what God put me here to do, because I'm always saying, well, this is making me more money than music makes me, so I'm gonna keep doing this. And so about a year ago, I jumped off of that. Yeah. And a lot of people looking at me like I'm crazy, because most musicians ain't making enough money, and they trying to get in the weed business, right?
Okay.
Wow.
But me, right now, I jumped out to get back into music, right? And like, you know how it is. Everything's consolidated nowadays. It's not, like there's like maybe 3 major labels right now? Seriously.
Yeah.
Right. So it's harder as an independent. But I'm doing it because.
But I mean, obviously, Shells, you've had some successes in a short time. Yeah. Because we were talking earlier about his feature in the Billboard magazine, for instance, and the way your songs are doing. It's quite impressive. Shells, you wanted to say something?
Yeah,
right?
I do. First and foremost, give thanks for the initiatives that you've taken, in your life, to ensure that not only that yourself is fed with your family, but what I rate was the fact that you said, it wasn't your path. And that's a bold move for anyone to take, especially an artist. But my question is, though, is a kind of a trick question. Which one you rather, because you're multifaceted, you produce and you're an artist. Which one you prefer, to be a producer or to be an artist?
Well, I mean, I enjoy the stage, right? But I also enjoy creating, right? So I write and produce for a lot of people right now, and that's fine with me too. That's a good success.
You don't have a problem working behind the scenes.
No, I don't have a problem working
being a
behind
part
the
of the
scenes.
music. Yeah.
But you need someone that I can depend on me. Okay, artists are flaky people, right? So right now I know I can depend on me. I hit the stage. I know what my value is, right? So I'm doing that, but I'd love to get behind some younger people.
Give them some support.
And we got a lot of artists that, like I said, that we've been developing and stuff.
Okay. As an artist, though, speaking about you now, how would you describe yourself?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah. Because people always asking, like, they want to put you in a box, right? And I'm always arguing with my management about that. Like, shouldn't it be called something else if we doing hip hop? Because, I just had a hip hop single that was pretty successful, especially like in Atlanta. It popped off Trap Betty Baby. I don't know, y'all weren't playing that, but they were playing it up there. Okay. And it did really well. And then everyone knows me for doing dance hall and reggae and Caribbean music and stuff, right? So in America, they always asking me, like, if I do something with Ted Smooth, you mentioned him before, like he wants me to do dance hall, he doesn't want me to rap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I started pushing that, especially because as an independent, there's more access in the Afro, Caribbean genre, right? Like I could get to anybody. Up there, it's hard. If you want to collab with somebody, you're gonna spend a lot more money
to get that product out.
Yeah, even the top tier Jamaican artists aren't charging what the bottom tier American artists are charging.
Hey, Fata, you're listening to the conversation. No doubt you wanted to throw in one for King Jazzy, if you will.
Actually, I'm just listening and taking it in. But Ted Smooth, man, that's to work with a producer like that's huge. I mean, all those remixes that he has done, that's huge. So, what's the next level for your music? What can we expect for the coming year?
Well, I mean, we've been releasing like one song at a time, which also makes it difficult to show people what you're doing, right? But I'm getting to all these crossover, more electronic, because I guess my real genre is the crossover, right? Where a lot of people are faking that, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to sound like
somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, but me, I grew up in a lot of different places, but I came to Jamaica when I was 7 years old. My stepfather is Jamaican, and I grew up in Rockabessa.
Okay.
I went to Iona Prep.
Oh,
and I passed the common entrance exam, and I was supposed to go to St. Mary's High, right?
Yeah.
And then I moved back to
the States,
right? And I've been back and forth my whole life. So it's not I'm not like these people who like appreciate Jamaican music and come. Like it's part of who I am.
No culture vulture around here. No culture vulture around here.
Yeah, and it's funny too because all right, the video we did for Trap Betty Baby, right? It got posted on Worldstar, right?
You did.
And then Worldstar has a lot of people that hate. Right.
Yeah.
So all these people being like, why this white dude got all these black girls in the video and stuff. And I was like, first of all, we did the video in Jamaica, right?
Okay.
And we used like, Chinny Unique and Pretty and those kind of people in the video, right? And big up to all of them. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm in Jamaica. First of all, there's no white girls here besides some tourists, right?
Yeah.
Second of all, like just to throw it back at you, like I gave the local people the business. You want me to import and give money to white people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the video we pushing right now, I have these dancers that are from the Detroit Pistons and stuff in them, but they're all white girls.
That's
Body
Move?
One of them's mixed. Body Move, yeah.
Body Move. I wanted to ask you, actually, in closing, King Jazzy, how well is that song doing? Because we've been giving it a lot of love here.
It's doing really good in Jamaica. Like it's being played at and all over. Yeah, and the party scene is loving it, right?
Okay,
which is one of the reasons why I came down because people like Banka and Boom Boom and those people are playing it and saying, "Yo, you should come." You know.
Yeah.
So I came down. Big up to everybody who's supporting it.
Listen, man, we could go on, and I think we'll have to get you back into the studio some other time. Where can people follow you though?
At
King Jazzy B on social media. Facebook and Instagram. It's at King Jazzy B. On things like Twitter and YouTube, it's King Jazzy B, but with 2 E's at the end. Okay. Otherwise, it's just one letter.
Right? All right. I want to say big ups to Byron and the crew in Florida and all those members of your team who make sure that you continue to do well.
100%. Yeah.
Anybody else you want to send shout-outs to before you leave?
Well, shout out to the whole team, Byron, Ricky Bless, Mark Doughboy, Hicks, Natty Morgan, QQ, IQ, GQ, the whole IQ them.
All IQs.
The whole IQ them. Yeah, Ted Smooth, Adam Favors. Yo, is Easy Pass over there still?
Yes, sir. Easy Pass was on last night.
Easy Pass is the homie. Yo, we was in a band together like
really?
some years ago. Yeah.
Right.
Shout him out for me, man.
Pass. Yeah, man. Patient sensation.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, King Jazzy, for stopping by, man. We had a king in our midst.
Yeah.
And it felt good.
Yes, royalty.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.